Folks, are you passionate about democracy and concerned about the rise of authoritarianism? I'm Joanne, Kevin's wife, and I've seen him give everything to this work. That's why Coffee with Democrats matters, lifting up stories, building connections, and keeping democracy strong. So tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for 30 minutes of conversation with elected officials, candidates, and Democratic influencers, only on Coffee with Democrats. So join me in welcoming the Executive Director and host of Coffee with Democrats, my husband, Kevin Dawson.
Well, good evening and welcome to Coffee with Democrats. I have got one of my best friends in the state of Oklahoma, a great friend. We've known each other since 2021, I believe it was, when we first met. We've been around each other and had so many conversations, so many great conversations in the past. Jena Nelson is in the house, and it's such an honor and privilege to spend time with you again. Jena, thanks for coming on Coffee with Democrats.
Kevin, it's so good to see you. Thank you for having me here, and thanks for everyone who's tuning in.
Well, it's a great opportunity for us to be able to get your message out to everybody across the state of Oklahoma. Not just in District 5, but also in all of the districts, because it's an important, but it's an inspiration, and I think that's what I find from having spent time with you is being inspired by you, and your inspiration who helps other people, other candidates all over the state of Oklahoma as well.
Oh, that is very kind. Thank you very much.
Well, you are one of the. You won Teacher of the Year in 2020.
Yes.
You were top 45 educator nationwide.
Yes.
Nationwide, folks.
Nationwide.
That was an amazing feat. Award for teaching excellence. You're a nonprofit executive and director and trainer of a Fortune 500 company. And probably the most important job you have of everything that you do, you're a wife and a mom.
That's right. That's right. 22 years this year.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. And I've met both of your boys. They are such a great couple of kids.
Oh, thank you.
I hate using the word kids, but
no, they'll always be kids to me.
Oh, good. So I'm going to ask you just three simple questions.
Okay.
Who are you? Why are you running? And why should people vote for you?
Sure.
So we're not in a rush.
Okay.
So I want you to be able to run with it as much as you want. So tell us more. I've kind of give you a little bit of a lead in there.
Sure.
Go ahead and take it and run with it. I mean, we're like a marathon.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah. So you've kind of given the background on the things that I've done and I've accomplished. My name is Jena Nelson, and I am running for Congressional District 5. And I'm absolutely thrilled to do it. I honestly was not sure if I would ever run again after the state superintendent race back in 22. But after that race happened and after the smoke cleared, what we realized when we were looking at the data is that I actually won the 5th district, and I had more votes than any Democrat or Republican. And it just, brought the attention to the fact that we could flip this. And so it took a while for me to even consider running again, because it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to run. But then I started seeing so many things happen with the threats on our democracy. And I've seen so many people who are suffering. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their rights. And I thought to myself, if there's an opportunity, if there's a chance that we can flip this district and give hope to people and give people a chance to have representation that is not bought, but is actually for the people, well, then I had to do it. And so July 19th, we decided to run, and we have been going nonstop ever since.
And it's great that you're doing that. And I love the fact that you talk about the hope, because what we're seeing on these early campaign ads coming out of the our side of the world is it's all about culture wars. They're not talking about what they're going to do for the people of Oklahoma. And that's what I think so many people are, they're so disgusted with that you really do have, and I'm saying do have, you should be the front runner in my opinion. So it's, I did some research.
Okay.
The research that I had, you just talked about it, that you did win more votes than any other Democrat or Republican CD5
Yes.
during the superintendent race. You also demonstrated a 17% crossover appeal, meaning 17% of the Republicans crossed over and voted for you in CD5.
Yes.
And I think that's something that really bodes well for you. It really speaks about your character, your campaign, and the idea that you can actually represent the people of Oklahoma and not just the special interest groups.
I appreciate that. And for me, you know, when I'm out talking to people, I'm not asking if they're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or Libertarian. I'm just asking, what is it that you need right now? What are the issues that you in your life are experiencing? You know, not the culture war stuff that everybody wants to get involved with, that doesn't, you know, affect the fact that our grocery prices keep going up. It doesn't affect the fact that our insurance prices are just astronomical. It doesn't affect the fact that Medicaid and Medicare are under attack, or that our hospitals are under the axe right now.
Right.
These are real issues that, no matter what your party is, that you're having to think about, because it's our families, and it's our parents and our grandparents, and it's our communities that we have to focus on. So for me, I think that people, you know, especially after building the trust that I had from the last election, I tell them the truth. I say what I mean what I say. And no matter what, even if they don't vote for me, or they don't necessarily belong to the same party that I do, they know that they're going to have someone that's still going to fight to make sure that they have the best quality of life possible.
And that's the key. We're 50th in education.
Yes.
We're in like 48 in health outcomes. Women's incarceration, we're among one of the leading states that incarcerates more people.
Yes.
Our state is suffering. We're losing companies.
Yes.
We had a tornado take out a business down the road here in CD4. It's not coming back. We're seeing businesses all over the state that again are struggling. Talk about our farmers.
Yes, absolutely.
Look what's going on with our farmers and ranchers. They can't sell their soybeans. They can't sell their cows.
No.
Everything is being outsourced to other states. And
to other countries.
Yes, exactly.
Other countries.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, because that's the truth about what's going on in this nation. And the people, I'm hearing so many of the people in rural America who are saying, you know what, we gave them a chance 3 times in a row. We're not going to do that again. That is inspiration to me.
Absolutely. And that's what we're hearing on the phones and in person as well.
Yeah.
When we're out talking to people, whether it's at a town hall or a meet and greet, or, you know, I just pick up the phone and say, you know, tell me what's going on. And farmers are struggling. And the fact that in the 5th district, beef is king in the 5th district.
Sure.
And we have, you know, a president who is outsourcing beef and is giving $40 billion to Argentina, when we have farmers that are suffering right here at home. And for me, my focus is to make sure that we're taking care of the people of the 5th district and the people of Oklahoma. And that's what we truly, if we say that we're America first, then we need to make sure that our farmers, our ranchers, our small businesses, our military veterans, they are being taken care of here, and our educators and nurses as well.
Oil and gas in Oklahoma is
Yes.
big. And in the 5th district, it's also as big in the 5th district
Yes.
as it is just about in every any other district that we have. Rig counts are staying pretty level. We're not seeing the growth that we were promised.
Sure.
And I think that's where I'm hearing the frustration from people in oil and gas who are saying, hey, we've had all these promises and it's not happening. So again, I know you want to address those issues.
Sure. And, and when we talk about energy, and I've said this several times, that I believe that in Oklahoma, we should be the energy leaders of the entire country. We have oil, gas, we have wind, we have solar. And yet we see so many of our communities and our business folks that are struggling when we have all of these resources right here in our own backyard. And so if we are going to truly build a business culture or a culture that is actually going to attract businesses, then we have to start with a culture of community and making sure that we are providing opportunities for folks to come in and build and maintain those businesses. That means making sure that we have great public schools, making sure that we're not closing down our hospitals, making sure that there's economic opportunity. But we have too many people right now that want to go play in the culture war sandbox when we are really and truly trying to make things happen and take care of our families here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and we've got a state superintendent right here in my district.
Mm-hmm.
I won't mention her name because she's not one of my favorite senators. I hope Mary Boren does a little bit more counteracting of what this particular senator does. But she's bringing out this fast track for teachers in the state of Oklahoma, which I understand we've got a teacher crisis right now. We need to grow that. And as an educator, you're keenly aware of what's going on. But why are we fast tracking people into poverty when we should be trying to fast track them into a position where they can actually have impact on the students in the state of Oklahoma?
Sure. Well, I'm going to say one thing is that we don't have a shortage. We have over 30,000 educators, myself included, that have a teaching certificate but are not in the classroom. And the number one reason, according to when I was working with Joy Hoffmeister on this survey, is a lack of respect. And that lack of respect means a lot of different things. Of course, they're paid, the way they are treated at the state level, making sure that we are not turning families against our educators. These are very common sense type of things. But once again, we get into the culture wars. Now, at the federal level, I'm really looking forward to getting to Congress because we need teachers who understand how education and the Department of Education is supposed to be ran, and really try to educate people, no pun intended, about what the Department of Education does at the national level. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, they create curriculum, and that's not the truth. They're actually protecting the rights of every public school student and making sure that federal dollars are not wasted or misappropriated. Hint, hint, Oklahoma.
Right.
That's one of the reasons that the Department of Ed was started, is because states were mishandling money. And we have got to make sure that we are protecting our most vulnerable people in our country, which are our children. And I think that that's another strength that I can bring, is making sure that, I get on an education committee and hold Linda McMahon accountable and actually maybe do some educating for her.
Well, you bring up Linda McMahon, from WWE background. She has no education experience whatsoever. None. And yet she's wanting to dismantle our education system. I'm ready to see you in a cage match with her.
Well, and that would be just fine, because I think that not only does she need to answer to Congress, but I know some other state superintendents across the country that also need to answer to Congress about the mishandling of federal dollars, because that money needs to be for our kids and for our schools. And we need to hold people accountable and make sure that there are consequences for, mishandling our money.
So I think we've answered this question once, but I'm going to, I told you in the beginning, we're going to ask 3 simple questions.
Okay.
Well, so I'm going to go back to question number 2. Why are you running for state superintendent? Or excuse me,
one yet.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That was that came out from 2022 and 24 when I was doing all kinds of other interviews.
Absolutely.
But, why are you wanting to run for U.S. Congress for CD5?
Sure. I love my country. I love my country. I love my state. And I fear right now that there are so many attacks on our democracy, on our on our democratic institutions, on our democratic rights. And right now, we need a different type of legislator to go to Congress, one that's going to have a backbone, one that is not going to just roll over according to whatever the party says or some corporate group. We need somebody with some spunk. And, growing up in Broken Bow and in McCurtain County, we have a lot of backbone and we do not back down. And we need someone who is going to actually stand up for the people of the 5th District instead of standing up for other people that have nothing to do with our state. Another thing is that I want to be there for the constituents. I've done 7 in-person town halls already. And my opponent, Stephanie Bice, has not done an in-person town hall in over 4 years. People need to see their representatives. That's what this whole position is all about. You are representative of your area, of your district. And that means you answer to the people. And I think right now we need that change. And I'm excited to go up there and let them know that the people of the 5th District have had enough. We need some changes and we need them now. And we're going to get it done.
Sandra Valentine has said hi to you. And
hey!
She's a good friend of both of ours.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention that we do have fans watching live.
Well, so. Thank you guys. Thank you.
And she is such a great person when it comes to the Department of Education. You can credit her for being at the tip of the spear, holding Ryan Walters accountable. All I can say is good riddance. But I think it's time for him to go to jail. That's a personal opinion, by the way. But I digress. So now we need to talk more about you and why people should vote for you. You know, as a candidate, you're not an incumbent, but Stephanie Bice, I'm going to kind of lead in here. These are kind of leading questions, I should say. And I'm not supposed to do that, but leading question is, she's a failure. She's failed the people of Oklahoma, and we need to have somebody like you to do that. So now I want to give you the opportunity to tell people why they should vote for you.
Sure. So the first thing I would say is that I'm just a working class person. I've been that way my whole life. And I know what it's like to come from absolutely nothing. And I know what it's like to have to fight for people who are very vulnerable. You talked about my time as a nonprofit. In that nonprofit, I work with people that dealt with opioid and stimulant prevention. I taught suicide prevention and strengthening families. And I think we need someone that, and it sounds so crazy to say this, but we need empathy again, someone who actually cares about other people. And I tell this to people all the time. You may not like me, you may not vote for me, but I'm going to look out for you and make sure that you and your family are going to be taken care of. And right now, we don't even have a representative that shows up. She doesn't show up for any of us at all. And says a lot of things that are untrue and, backs people that have abused children, has been an Epstein apologist the entire time. And as someone who, was a teacher, I can't stand the thought of somebody hurting children.
Right.
At all. And we just have to have somebody in this position that not only has empathy, understands, basic economics, and understands that Oklahoma is not doing okay. And it's because we don't have people that are fighting in this district to make sure at the federal level that the money that we pay into our taxes gets back to our people. And I'm not quiet about things. I am not I know you're going to laugh. I'm not a wallflower at all. And, if something is right, I'll stand up for it. If something is wrong, I'm going to call it out. Right. 100%.
Yesterday, the state of Oklahoma started their legislative session. Mm-hmm. The governor came out yesterday with some very controversial statements about the tribes and the tribal nation. And as a native of Oklahoma, I know that you've got an opinion about what we should do about our indigenous folks here in the state of Oklahoma, and make sure that the Native Americans are taken care of. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk about that.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to, point blank say it. Our tribal nations are sovereign. They are sovereign. And we should be respecting all of the treaties that have been signed in the past. We need to make sure that we are building relationships with the tribal nations, because they are the backbone of our state when it comes to economics, when it comes to culture, when it comes to really and truly showing up for Oklahomans when things are at its darkest. And so it is absolutely, it's shameful what the governor said yesterday. And I hope that in this last year that we can start moving forward and finding a new governor that will respect our tribal nations. And I know that, and I hope that our members of our tribal nations know that they will have someone at the federal level who will speak up for them and not be wishy-washy about it at all.
So I have one more question to ask, and then
Okay.
I got to start going into, I got to start campaigning for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This question is kind of controversial because
Okay.
it has to do with Alex Preddy and Renee Good.
Sure.
And the ICE and how they've been allowed to become, basically a secret police for our national executive. So do you have an opinion about what we need to do with ICE, and what you would recommend or fight for in Washington to try to rein that in?
Sure. First of all, ISIS should never, ever be attacking American citizens. It should be more than just someone who can just fill out an application and then immediately get hired. There's no training involved. They're giving a black eye to our real law enforcement officers who are putting their lives on the line. And they're getting caught in all of this mess. Really and truly, we could take all of that money that has been given to ICE and put it down actually on the border and have better border security. We could use facial recognition technology. We could actually work with other countries to share that information so that we can stop people from coming across the border. We can invest it in drone technology. What we don't need to do is invest it in people who are acting like a bunch of thugs. And I hate to say that, but I get so fired up when you see children that are being used as bait, when you see the elderly that are being drug out in the snow, when you see American citizens that are being murdered without due process.
Right.
They are not the judge and executioner. We have a judicial system. We have rule of law. And I am someone who has been taught from a very young age, we follow the rule of law. And they are not. And they're putting our citizens at risk. And so I do not think that we need to be paying for a private police, secret police group where we don't know who they are. It's putting more and more people in danger. How do you know that is a law enforcement agent when they don't have any type of identification? They won't identify themselves. We cannot see their faces. How do I know that they're not just the Proud Boys in cosplay?
Oh, good statement.
Maybe they are.
So I'm going to bring up another screen up here.
Okay.
So we're going to disappear off the screen, folks. So just bear with us just a second. I'm going to bring up Jena Nelson's homepage, and we're gonna view that for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Here. All right, we were able to put us over on the side.
Okay.
Folks, here's the web page for Jena Nelson. I'll let you talk about how to get to that web page.
All right. So if you want to help support this campaign, and it doesn't matter if you're in the 5th district or not, because I understand that there are so many people that are frustrated with the type of representation that they're getting, please go to jenanelson.com. That's JENA JenaNelson.com. And there are all kinds of opportunities for you to donate, to volunteer. And really and truly, when it comes to volunteering, we've got some pretty good technology that even if you don't want to get out of your house, there's still ways for you to help Team Nelson. And I will say, we are going to flip this seat, but we do need your help. We need your help to do this because, as I've said it before, I am not a millionaire. I am not a millionaire. I am not getting any of this, corporate money or anything like that. I am being funded by people who really and truly want to see a change. And if you want to be part of that change, just go on over to the website. There's a million different ways that you can get involved, and we have something for everyone.
One of the things that I really appreciate about your webpage, and I'm going to try to get over there, just bear with me just a second.
Sure.
Is you have volunteer opportunities.
Yes.
So let me get that pulled up onto the screen so people can see that,
Okay.
because this is something that I think is important for people to know about these volunteer opportunities. And you do, that's what I really like about your campaign, is you really have mapped out opportunities just about every day of the week.
Yes.
So that people can look, at something coming up, plan for it. One thing that I learned from our former chair of the Oklahoma Democratic Party is we need time, we need your talent, and we need your treasure.
Yes, absolutely.
So those 3 T's are so important, and I wanted for people to be able to find that. And I love the way that you organize this, so easy for people to find an opportunity. So again,
Right.
Just go to JenaNelson.com. And it's under events, and you get to see the opportunity where you can spend your time there. Now we got to talk about treasure.
Okay, we can talk about treasure. Absolutely.
Because, like you said, you're not a millionaire.
I'm not.
And it's the small donor that's really going to have some impact. So I'm going to bring up one more screen here for us to talk about, and that's how we can get to your contribution page. So
Sure.
We're going to share that.
And the thing about donating, I want to say this as well, is that you don't have to give a large amount of money. In fact, we have reoccurring donors that some give $10 every month or $25 every month. And that really helps us out when we're trying to plan months ahead as well, because unlike, others, we actually budget and we make sure that we're staying within our budget, which is something we need to address at the federal level as well. And I do want to kind of talk a little bit about the volunteers, because I need to brag.
Yes, please.
We have volunteers that start at age 13 and go up to 90. And they have been doing just an amazing job. So if you're not sure about your age or anything, I just want to say that yes, we have Republicans that have been knocking doors as well for us because they want to change. But really and truly, it's a lot of fun. We try to make things as joyous as possible. We know that, sometimes people don't like knocking doors, but we've got other things that you can do as well. And we just try to find the joy in this hard work.
So on the page, there's automatic payments that you can select, starting from $5 and working your way up. Folks, I added one in there. It's in the blank field. It's in the blue one that is blank. I added $20.26. Please give $20.26 to Jena for 2026, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to flip a seat in 2026 and get her elected in 2026. So join me in my contribution and match that with 2026. If you have more than that, of course, give as you wish. But if you want to just start at a minimum, I think 2026 is a great place to start.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that.
You have been such an awesome guest. You're such a wonderful friend, and it's such an honor to be able to spend just a little bit of time with you. I don't think that we've given this enough justice. We need to spend more time. But again, we're slated for just 30 minutes, and we're coming close to the end of our time. So I just have 1 minute left.
Okay.
What would you like to speak of, if anything?
I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope you'll invite me back again. And I hope that everyone, if you don't know much about me and you're not sure, please reach out. I am very approachable, and I do talk to people in person. I love talking and having those conversations. I tell people all the time, it's kind of hard to hate me up close. So we can make this happen, and we can make sure that we have good government and good representation in Oklahoma.
Well, Jena, thank you again so much for coming on Coffee with Democrats. Folks, we'll be back on here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Coffee with Democrats. We'll have another guest that will be here with us. And until then, everybody, please be safe and continue to vote for Democrats and encourage people to vote. Thank you so much for being with us.
Coffee with Democrats is broadcast from the multimedia studio inside the Cleveland County Democrats office with their gracious permission to use the space. Our thanks to the Cleveland County Democrats Central Committee and Chair Jamie Shelton for accommodating our Tuesday night show.